Hello everybody! From popular request, this week we'll run through Pokemon Emerald with just a Slaking. As you might know, Slaking is the final evolution of Slakot. They share the same ability in Truant, and this way we will be able to compare with last week's video. The card for it is in the top right corner of the screen now. If we take a peek at Slaking's stats, we can see that he is absolutely stacked. 160 attack might not seem great now, but back then it was the second highest in the game, just behind Deoxys attack, and 670 base stat total is absurd. It's exactly the same as Kyogre and Groudon, the box legendaries. Will the stats and the good move pool make up for the abysmal ability? We'll see. After dealing with the Zitzagoon, we can move on to the May fight. For her, I decided to not level up to give her a fighting chance, but it's still a one-sided fight. Not long after that, I have to save the researcher in Petalburg Forest. The Team Aqua Grunt wisely goes for a sand attack, but unfortunately for him, that is not enough to defeat an unstoppable force. Usually evolved Pokémon learn moves later, but for Slaking it's not the case. So I reach level 19 when she learns Feint Attack, and then we can face the gym. The Geodudes have enough HP to leave a hit, but can't do much damage to me, even with their strongest move. Once both of them are down, her ace enters the field. Finally the slows work and I am outsped, but he will need quite a few crits to even get me low, and then I crit him. Yeah, that was not a fair fight for her, but that is how life is sometimes. Next, we have to rescue Pico, and this time around, the grunt doesn't even have the time to pick up the sand to throw in my eyes. After we completed the good deed for the day, it's time for optional May. Her team is not very strong. Since I gave her Torchic, her other Mon is just a weak Lotad, and both of them are easily defeated with a single scratch each. I decided to wait a little on Brawly. He is still a fighting type gym leader after all. So I make my way to Slateport, where I can deliver the parts needed for the submarine as usual. The grunts don't stand a chance. I take some damage from rough skin, but nothing to worry about. As usual, Archie arrives to post and do nothing else. Man, he's starting to give me some Zap Brannigan vibes. After I defeat some more trainers around the port, I can backtrack and face Brawly. Turns out I should not have been worried about this fight. Thanks to our massive attack, Scratch can devastate all of his Pokémons. I take a little damage on the Laughing Turns, but it's not a big deal. Once Brawly is defeated and we get his badge and the Bulk Up TM, we can get back to Slateport to do the May fight. Here is where Slakot started having trouble, but for Slaking it's an easy win. The Combusken leaves a hit and does a good amount of damage back, but it's nowhere near enough to defeat us. With May dealt with, we can proceed to the Watson gym fight. If there is one fight that I'm not confident in, it's this one. The Magneton always problems with paralysis and confusion, so I used Bulk Up a few times against the Electrike to increase my damage, so I can hopefully one-shot Magneton. I set up to +4 before proceeding with the rest of the fight. The magneton thunderwaves me, but I can cure it with the berry. Next turn, it turns out it was not enough boosts and Magneton leaves with a sliver of HP. At least I crit him next time, so I dodged a bullet there. The Manectric can't do much, and as soon as I can attack, he goes down too. Got kinda worried for a second, but we got through. Anecdote time. I record the videos on my phone, and while I was working on this one, I was in a restaurant and they had a dish called rice in style poke, so I just had to get it. It had a grocery list of ingredients like rice, two kinds of seed, three kinds of leafy greens, carrots, grilled eggplant and zucchini, bloody beetroots, boiled egg, smoked trout, and a bunch of other stuff. I heard it from Hawaii, but I never saw something like that in Italy. Anyway, getting back to the video at hand. Next, we have to deal with Flannery. And thanks to Amnesia, bearing a crit, this should be easy. I can set up against the Numel because it does not do much damage. I also use a few bull caps so I can deal more damage to the Torkoal and maybe one-shot it. Let's not forget the Slaking still has Slack Off, and with her base 150 health, it restores a ton of HP. After we are topped off, I can go on the offensive, and of course, at this point, nothing can leave a secret power. Somebody uses Sunny Day, which is scary because it boosts overhit damage, so Torkoal does a good chunk of my HP in one hit, but next turn she is dead. As I said, without crits it was easy. After we collect the fourth badge, we have to backtrack to face our dad in the fifth gym. Like for Slackot, I immediately remove the Spinda because I don't want to get confused. And now, against this lacking, we are desynced, so when we loaf, he attacks, and vice versa. This way, we don't have to worry about getting destroyed by counter. After a couple of turns, I can take it out, but fall asleep from the yawn that he used. This gives the Vigoroth the opportunity to attack me a few times, but when I wake up, it's over for him. So just the Linoon left. He would be a big threat if he used Belly Drum, but just headbutts us, so the fight is over. Like for Slackot, I preferred to not use Facade. We most likely don't need all that damage anyway. After we receive the Surf TM and clear the Weather Institute from more Team Aqua grants, we have to fight May once more. The Pelipper this time does not troll me and goes down the second time I attack. Combusken, like earlier, does some damage, but not enough. Lombre flinches me on the loafing turn, so it doesn't matter either, and with that, May is done. Next up is Winona Ryder and her flying team. She shouldn't be a problem either. As usual, I can't let the Swablu leave, otherwise she uses Perish Song. I decided to use a few bull caps against the Tropius so that I'm ready for the Skarmory later. I already underestimated a steel type earlier and it could have ended in tragedy, so I better not do it again. Once the Tropius goes down, another Pelipper comes out. For some reason does not use Protect, so that was easy. Thanks to the previous boosts, the Skarmory is a one-shot, and her ace quickly follows it to the grave. She gives us the TM for Aerial Ace, and I'm surprised that Slaking can learn it. but I'm not gonna use it. I have better options. Before we can proceed with the main story, I pay Mol May a visit. For this fight, I don't even bother setting up. At this point, her team is not strong enough to stop me, and they all die in one hit. Pelipper uses Protect on the wrong turn, and somehow I don't even get hit once. Why did you make May so flipping weak? Whatever. Next, we have to climb the Not Pokemon Tower and obtain the Magma Emblem from the old lady. And with that, we can access Groudon's lair. Here we find Maxie about to wake it up. After Groudon runs away, Maxie attacks us for some reason. Since we have a ton of attack, even after the Intimidate, we can still one-shot the Mytiena. Unfortunately, the Crobat confuses me, but I can pull through and finish it. Against the Camerupt, Slaking decides to punch herself in the face and waste some time. When we finally snap out of it, we one-shot the Camerupt too, and with that, we defeated Maxi. And now he can calm down, well, sort of. Up next is the double fight against Tate and Liza, and since slacking stats are very good, I do the gym with secret power like I wanted to do with Slacot. First off, a couple of amnesias so I don't get blown up. Then I remove Xatu because it boosted, and against the Lunaton I decided to boost up a bit so that I could do good damage to the floating rocks. It might have been the wrong decision because the Lunaton set up. I wanted to take it out, but I misclick and kill the Claydol. Then I have to heal because I'm running low on HP. But as I do that, the Lunaton puts me to sleep with hypnosis. At least, thanks to the amnesias, I don't take that much damage from Solrock. The Lunaton hurts a bit more because of his boost. I guess we still need the Ben Hill music after all. Once I wake up, my HP is very low. I probably could have risked it, but preferred to heal up in case of a crit. So as soon as I can stop loafing around, the Lunaton can finally go down. The Solrock at this point can only wait for its turn, unless it gets a crit, max roll, burn, but that does not happen, so next turn the fight is over. Just one more gym left, but before we can do it, we have some stuff to deal with. First off is the double fight with Steven against the team Magma, Grant and Maxi. Like in the previous fight against him, Intimidate is not enough, and we can one-shot his Pokémons. This time around, the Metang does not go for screens, but instead focuses on dealing damage. We have more than enough HP and defense to survive anyway, so this way we might end the fight sooner. So far the run is going very well. I'm sort of surprised that we did not have to reset a single time, but I guess stats are like money in real life. It doesn't necessarily make you happy, but it sure helps. Likewise, stats don't guarantee an easy time, but let you bypass a lot of problems, like a terrible ability. There was not much to comment about the fight, just attack until they all go down. And once they do, we can grab the tab with HM from Steven and make our way to Kyogre. Here, we have to engage Archie in a fight, and it's more of the same really. We can one-shot everything, it only matters what they do on the loafing turns, and to be honest, they kinda waste them, so we can clean sweep his team. Once Archie is defeated, the usual end of the world sequence starts. Some people think that in the newer games, the evil team and the story are not as exciting as in the first few generations, but it requires a big suspension of disbelief to think that a kid can save the world by themselves. And it's not like we do anything spectacular either. We just climb a tower and wake up another legendary, and to be honest, nobody plays Pokemon for the story. After the sequence ends, we can fight Juan. For him, I decided to use Amnesia to be more tanky, so I don't die during the laughing turns. Luckily, I don't get confused, so I can take out the heart-shaped fish. I did not bother setting up, because I'm pretty sure I won't need it. I get crit by Cilio, but it still does no damage. Kronaast wastes his turn, and his ace Kintra, of course, has to go for double team. Thankfully, I still hit him, and we can earn the last badge. Now that we collected all of them, we can start the journey through Victory Road. Here, as usual, we have to fight Wally. His team does not seem that bad, except for the Magneton. Initially, I don't boost because I'm kinda worried about the Altaria, so I decided to do it against the Delcatty. Not my smartest idea, to be honest, for two reasons. First, she has Sing, which is annoying and delays me a lot, and reason number two is Assist. Assist uses one random move from the other Pokémon in his team. The whole time, Delcatty used damaging moves like Thunderbolt or Psychic, but there is one secret move that thankfully she did not use, but would surely lead to a loss. And that move is on Roselia, and it's toxic. She immediately uses it, and with the laughing turns, it can quickly stack up and defeat me. Fortunately, there are only a couple of mods left, so I can finish the fight before it's too late. Did not expect Wally to be the hardest fight so far. Up next is the League, starting with Sidney. Once again, Intimidate does not set my attack low enough, so I can immediately defeat what is becoming one of my most hated Pokemon. Shiftry of course has to troll me with Double Team, but after a few turns I can finally get through the confusion from Swagger and take it out. The rest of the team is not a problem, especially because Cacturn does not use Leech Seed. Slaking also stopped being confused, so Crodont and then Absol have no chance. Sweet revenge for the Slakotron. The second Elite Four is Pheobe and her ghost types. For her, I thought slacking Shadow Ball like for the Slakot. And as you might imagine, it's gonna be a walk in the park, except for the fact that Dusclops confuses me and stalls me a bit. Let's be glad that at least it did not use Curse. I made sure to pay attention to not attack into a grudge with the Banette, and Sableye tries the double team strut, but it's a fail. And the rest of her team can do some damage on the laughing turns, but even with 2 crits, I'm sure they can't defeat me. So 2 down, 3 more to go. The next member is Glacia, and I did not learn from my past mistakes, so I did not equip a Cherry Berry. I use Amnesia to lower their damage, and of course, on the laughing turn, she uses Body Slam and paralyzes me. Should have seen that one coming. Frustrated by the bad RNG, I take out the Cilio and hope that I don't get fully paralyzed during a clash turn where I need to heal. The second Cilio sets up Hail. That's kinda bad. Hail chip is starting to add up, so I'll have to heal soon. The second Glalie comes out and does even more damage to me, so it's definitely time to slack off for a couple of turns. At least I can't get frozen since I'm already paralyzed. Silver lining, I guess. It also stalls out the remaining hail turns, but that shouldn't matter. Once I'm eventually at full HP, I can take out the snowball as soon as I stop loafing around, that is. Next is her ace Wolverine, and unless she max roll treats me twice, I should win easily. Since the odds are in my favor, that does not happen and I can finish the fight. One more Elite Four to go. Let's see if Slaking can defeat him faster than Slakot. I use Amnesia on his Protect turn just because I can, and then I have to wait a while between the loafing turns and the time I protect. But eventually we can move on. Once again, no learning has happened, and I'm vulnerable to paralysis from Dragon Breath. I don't get punished this time, and we blow up the Kindra. Feels good to one-shot it. Flygon does not do much before dying, and at this point there is no way Salamence can stop me, even with Intimidate. That ability has surprisingly been useless against us this run. Just the champion left. For him, I equip a Pecha Berry. I know it was useless last time, but that was more an exception than the rule. For the last time in this run, I'm gonna set up a bit. A couple of amnesias so they don't do damage, and then a few bulk ups to counter Gyarados Intimidate, and after I'm done, a slack off to top off my HP. And now I'm finally ready for the last sweep. I also got frozen, but thawed out immediately, so whatever. Since this time I'm the one taking out the Wolverine, the tentacle that comes out after has time to toxic me. Told you the berry was needed. From here, it's pretty much over. The Ludicolo also tries to troll me, but it does not go his way. Whiscash might actually have amnesia, since it always spams it, and the Gyarados finally comes out to lower my attack, but he goes down too all the same. With just his ace Milotic left, the match is effectively over, and Slaking is the first Pokemon I use to finish with no resets at all. Yeah, this one was way easier than Slackout. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed your time here. Please leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell, and whatnot, and write a comment to boost my videos in the algorithm. And be sure that I will answer all of them. See you next week. Bye!